Hello. All right. I have not seen too much of this. I just heard one small thing. Let's see what's going on. All right. B-Wing light side attacker rebel. Let's start with Control F profundity. One result. Doesn't appear to be in kit. Home 1. 16 results. That seems pretty likely. Mill. N. Nope, no hits. Well, that seems to bode a specific way. All right, what we got? The start of battle at the ally capital ship is home 1. Gain 10% max health until the end of battle. Whenever Rebel B-Wing is damaged by an enemy, gain 25% TM retribution for 2 turns. Whenever damaged. I mean, one Outrider basic would be 100% turn meter. It would literally be 150%. But you can't gain TM against profundity, but just, broadly looking for I mean, this would also potentially impact breach, right? With Xanadu Blood unique, you take double damage. Obviously, especially with the 10% max health, you're not too happy taking the percent health damage, but it would work. And retribution for 2 turns. Preventable, dispellable, but that's harder to deal with in ships. Whenever Rebel B-Wing attacks at a turn, reduce all cooldowns on home 1, excluding call reinforcements by 1. I wonder if that impacts ults? I mean, maybe it gets you more mass assist, but whatever Rebel B-Wing gains Master Plan, all Rebel allies gain 25% crit chance for the rest of the encounter. Whatever Master Plan expires, then gets tactical supremacy for 2 turns, which can't be copied. I still don't have tactical supremacy memorized. I remember being like pretty decent. Isn't it like crit damage of potency? Oh, I forgot this one fucking part of the song. The random water noises. I refuse. Be gone. Also, is there a home one unique that I need to know that I saw people mentioning? Am I blind? One will have a new effect added to its unique ability, Band Together, which allows the capital ship to reinforce B-Wing immediately at the start of battle. Okay. Well, that in context of the reinforcement, stay on course. Enter battle. Grant Rebel allies advantage in defense up for 1 turn. Dispellable if the ally capital ship is home 1. There are no deployed scoundrel allies. That does not rule out Falcon reinforcement, technically. Grant home 1 a bonus turn. Well, it does. Well, no, it specifically says deployed. Grant home 1 a bonus turn and their cooldowns are reset, excluding call reinforcement. Grant home 1 a bonus turn and their cooldowns are reset, excluding call reinforcement. What's the point of a cooldown reset if you do it at the start of battle? This says the capital ship to reinforce B-Wing immediately at the start of battle. Does this imply this is the first ship where you forcibly have to reinforce it? Or could you use this to cheat another ship out? Could you use this to just boom, hey, fuck you, turn 0 Falcon? Questions for later, I guess. Because it's also ostensibly, well, if you have a deployed scoundrel, you don't get the cooldown reset. I mean, Man, we really need to see the text on this home one ability because the legalese around this. I mean, so you could what? This could equal a if they like. There's questions of do they force you to mass assist? Do they force you to call in B wing? Because if not, you could turn 0, start a battle preload like mass assists into first home turn home 1 call B wing into home 1 turn 2 mass assist again. Right? If we're trying to leverage the cooldown reset. Wait, it's a home 1 bonus turn too, so it's not the turn count was off. Turn 0 mass into turn 1 B wing into mass. Oh wait, no, I'm okay. So even if you can't do that, because it's a start of battle, they are so even if they do force you to do B wing, it still gives you another home 1 bonus turn that you are still cheating out of mass assist. It's just okay. What's the actual text on home 1? It's been a minute or 5. I'm sorry. It doesn't only call 2 ships? Yeah. So there's no guarantee that you hit the B-Wing assist call. That's a little bit spooky. Cheating ahead a little bit, I'm looking to see if there's any sort of like TM preload. I mean, this potentially hits a lot faster. Don't you? Whenever it becomes target locked. I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit, but we're kind of fucking already lost in the sauce. 100% of the allied capital ship is home 1. So if you hit the B-Wing assist call, 100% chance to target lock, but it's still resistible, so there would actually still be some RNG if you're going for like a Bistan sort of thing. Okay, let's get through the kit. What the fuck am I doing? Alright. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and start talking. Alright. Implications to be sure. Special 2 crew, deal physical damage to all enemies, and Rebel B-Wing gains crit damage up for 2 turns. If the allied capital ship is home 1, inflict evasion down on all enemies for 1 turn. Resistible. They already have evasion down, ability block them for 1 turn instead and deal double damage. Ability starts on cooldown. If the allied capital ship is home 1, cooldown of this ability is reduced to 1 at the start of battle. I completely forgot in context that when you reinforce, so if it's an immediate reinforce, right? You do also take a turn. So if this is 1 cooldown to start a battle, what are we starting with? Blockade buster. Damage to all enemies inflicted with accuracy down, so they're going for like a accuracy down into potential AoE ability block if you can hit it. Depending on how fast the ship is, I suppose. If it double laps you, that could maybe be spicy. But we don't really have any speed up mechanics that I saw. Okay, fucking... I'm sorry, I can't get... You have a thing, right? Don't you have a thing? I'm pretty sure you have a thing. Control F speed. Not it. Troll of turn meter. That's not how you spell turn. It was one of them. I know you're out there. Wedge gets TM, but I don't think that combos at anything. I'm like 99% sure Cassian's Ewing has no saucer. I mean, 50% CN defense is actually kind of spicy. I do remember that. All right. Where were we? Rebel B-Wing dispels all debuffs on itself and gains protection up for 2 turns. The capital ship is home 1. Call a random ally with defense up to assist. Grant the assisting ally critical damage up. It's a lot of resistible debuffs in this kit. Interesting. I think this technically means it can call itself. Alright, we already more or less got through this. 100% chance to target lock, deal damage, gain offense up. If they have target lock, inflict evasion down, which sets up the AoE ability block attempts. Okay, so more or less this is really just fishing for evasion down into the AoE. The cooldown is 5 once you spend it once, so... But doesn't, Yeah, after the ship uses an ability during its turn, their cooldowns are reset. So it's 5 turns, but frankly, you're probably going to see this before you see it come back. So it's... The turn return is just whenever you hit Master Plan, more than likely. I remember Raven's Claw being fairly Bistan ship-coded, but... For each other non-active, non-scoundrel rebel ally, 40% health. Can't be evaded. Rebel allies gain 10% offense. Instead, gain 30 for home 1. Reactive defense down, unresistible to enemy when they damage any ally. Okay, this maybe matters. I don't know if this applies to home 1. I know the ship is extremely old at this point, but I've never played it until now, so... Sue me. Whether or not it does, it would at least hit the B-Wing random assist call. Ships with Foresight can ignore taunt effects. If they attack an ally without a taunt effect, their Foresight is dispelled. Huh. I'm gonna be honest, I think you would almost prefer to not ignore taunt and keep the Foresight. In some cases. Almost the ally capital ship, whatever Foresight expires on a non-scoundrelable ship, that ally gains offense up. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with target lock, Raven's Claw gains Foresight. While Raven's Claw has foresight, it has plus 50 speed. Doesn't have like abysmal speed. No, it's okay. 157 plus 50. Not really that crazy of an effect. Remember 100% TM plus days is kind of wild, but we don't really... Okay, hang on. Pause, think it through. Whatever Call has foresight, it has plus 50 speed. Where was it? I think I see what's going on here. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with target lock, Raven's Claw gains foresight for 2 turns. When Raven's Claw has foresight, it has plus 50 speed. So this is, in effect, a Raven's Claw 50 speed preload for the start of match B-Wing reinforcement. Right. The only question is, like, how RNG is this going to be depending on who you draft? It checks for foresight at start of turn, so you can't necessarily cheat it out that way. I have questions of, like, who's going to go first, Home 1 or B-Wing? Because Home 1 gets a bonus turn, but I assume the reinforcement is also a bonus turn, so that's kind of weird to contemplate. It's a weirdly mechanical fight. Or not fight, but just, like, concept. There's a lot of questions of, like, ordering. Crucially, this ability is resistible, so I'm just gonna say this seems like it is coded to go on defense and maybe try to high roll people who think posting top 3 fleets on defense is a good idea. Like, this kind of... I'm getting flavors of, like, Malevolence and Malevolence's ability to try to scam you as well. Right. I mean, depending on how testing goes, I can't imagine with the amount of RNG that is built in still here that you could, unless it just turns out that you could win regardless, I don't think you can willfully stake the outcome of a GAC on, do I hit the 100% turn meter? Well, maybe I hit the 100% turn meter, but I don't hit the days, so they're still mass assisting me, and oh, fuck, I'm done. And again, like, doesn't, like, a exec and fleets like that start with tenacity up anyway, so it's not even a question of that because they could resist it anyway. Like, I don't think we have a dispel, right? So yeah, it's weird. I see what they're going for. They're definitely, like, shooting for some stuff to combo with Raven's Claw, but, like... I don't know if this actually cracks any matchups, really. Because I don't think you can remove Profundity's turn meter. And again, yeah, like... Unless we're just talking, like, Desperation Fleet counter options... 15% of the time, this fleet will disappoint you. Technically, it could even be higher than that in some spots because you're risking 50% on both the TM removal and the days. I have to say, my final prediction is I think that this will still just get posted on defense and, like, maybe try to make Akbar a little bit scammier in trying to get some defensive hold banners. If it just start a battle, immediately reinforce, it will call on B-Wing, and then either B-Wing goes to Metal Special, and then Home 1 pops Master Plan. Wait, how does middle special lead to master plan? There's cooldown cycle, but not. Isn't it like if master one gets called to assist? Come on, gets a bonus turn? Yeah, but you're not even guaranteed to hit the. Yeah, whatever B-Wing attacks out of turn, reduce all cooldowns on home one by 1. Starts on cooldown with a cooldown of 5 on. So home one takes a turn, you call him B-Wing, you should be at what? Either 5 or 4? I don't know what genetically is, but I would assume 4. So then it takes a second turn, you're at 3. Assuming you do the mass, which by the way, if you do 3 starting ships and B-Wing reinforcements are your 4 ships, you only call 2 ships to assist, so you are not guaranteed to call. That would push you at 2. How are you getting turn 1? On 1 cooldown to reset? Oh, excluding call reinforcement. Oh, this is just Silvo. I don't know why, but in my mind, I assume this also meant alt. Okay. Yeah, this is just Silvo. I mean, doesn't that... I forget if Master Plan also gives Home 1 another turn? Obviously, it can't get the Master Plan buff, but I don't remember if it still gets 100% turn meter. Hmm. It gives us a little bit of creative freedom. Why can I hear myself think? You. Not what I had in mind, but I'll let it rock and see where this takes us. Just hoping everyone is dead if your team takes 8 turns. The problem is Houndstooth. If we're, like, obviously triple attacker, this sounds like it has potential. Although... Does it? I assume Bistan is here. It's not even a subshot. Raven's Claw is here. Third draft, is it Wedge ever? No disrespect to Wedge. Wedge was actually, like, on paper, one of my favorite ships. He just... Like, I thought it was cool that he gained 25% turn meter when he assists, but it's just not... It was never quite real. And, like, the reinforcement was kind of real, but the reinforcement slot conversation is already kind of boxed out here. You bump Houndstooth pretty hard? Yes and no? We're having a conversation about per turn efficiency here, because Houndstooth can also, if you're trying to ignore, well, you don't have access to Xanadu, so you would be choosing between either Razor Crest or Houndstooth, unless they're doing Xanadu reinforcement with a Outrider opener. All right, where does that put you? Does it check for rebels? It does, right? Or at least is it just non-scoundrels? I'm not seeing. Yeah, it's never deployed to counter allies. Grant rebel allies. Home 1 is fairly plug and play. You will lose out of 50% crit damage, potentially. Ebon Hawk is cute, but I don't think is what we're actually looking for. Like, you could pick up some preload, but I think it's too RNG. I doubt it. It only grants rebel allies advantage. Yeah, ship's baseline crit chances abysmal. Problem is Plo Koon's ship is too fast. Man, I feel like this would be spicy as fuck for the old Ray Falcon, but current Ray Falcon is just so whatever to me. Old Ray Falcon was more of a glass cannon. This is more of like a weird bruisery spot. I mean, you could just try to do like a double gambit, but I don't know if that'd actually push enough damage without doing Thrust Reversal first. Wait, but this only gives you 50% protection on. It's not even that much difference. It's sort of just one extra buff. Kinda cute. Poe might be a little bit sleeper. Although he also suffers from being fast. Like, I think Poe would be a decent add if you shuffle him later in the combo. Which you can kind of do, technically, with this, right? You could, like, perfect shot into Bolt from the Blue, shuffle yourself down to 45% turn meter, and still go first once everything else ended. But I'm thinking more like 2 other or 3 other ships go, and then you would want to double perfect shot, right? Turn 0, turn 1, home 1. I mean, it sounds like turn 0 from CG's wording. Yeah, there might be some plug and play saws here. I don't think there's any like clear winners. Marauder is kind of cute, but the Christians I think is too low. Poe might have more potential to be sure, but I'm a little bit worried about consistency. Happens with home 1 stars being Leviathan. I don't think you need to worry about that. I think thermal detonators will probably cover you more or less. Oh, ship's not Scoundrel, is it? It's not. Yeah, it's like Poe, Marauder, and Ebon Hawk are probably like the standouts. Plo Koon, if you could get Plo Koon to go last, would actually probably be kind of funny just to cheat out an extra third rounds of turns for 3 other ships, but I mean, maybe you get Raven's Claw to go before Plo. Maybe you get Bistan to go first with TM. Maybe it's a Pipe Dream? I don't know. The third ship might not be able to do it at the very least. Raven's Claw speeding Plo? Sure. B-Wing, Outspeeding Claw, sure. Bistan putting Blow, sure. I guess there's 3 ships. Maybe it would work. I don't know if that'd even be that good, though. When you care about Bistan turns, you could still just go double basic. Like, you're 100% could be running Bistan. It's just a question of whether Plo actually adds enough value off of a 80% TM ad. Or I guess I don't know if double TM would actually be that impactful. More than like you would probably do like 40% TM into self taunt, or maybe taunt into 40% TM. This doesn't seem to load much. It does, but it's still a question of use case. I still don't know if this really messes with the top 3, but this should at least make it. Like, really, this seems like it could be a horror show for anyone who feels like not choosing fleets. It's the current lineup I'm thinking. I mean, it's clearly Raven's Claw plus Bistan +1. There aren't terribly many options for the +1, but like, if we really wanted to go aggro, maybe it's Wedge, but I don't think Wedge actually does that much damage. Running a plug and play is like a decently appealing option here. I mean, okay, to be fair, Ghost double mass off of Master Plan, that shit does not sound bad. Like, the ship is slow as sin, right? Okay, I mean, what is not bad, but it's like... it's gotta be Ghost, right? You hit the Master Plan, you take a bunch of turns, you hit Ghosts, you hit a Mass Assist, you hit a Mass Assist. It 100% has to be that. Plus, also, isn't Ghost targeted that you could actually maybe just cheat out? Hang the fuck on. One cooldown reduction, 2 cooldown reduction. Three, 4. Do you just slam Master's Plan every turn? It couldn't be every turn, but you might be able to get it a second time. Right, because Master's Plan resets you, but after the first reset, you wouldn't have it on the 3rd loop. But it would work. It would work exactly once. What the reverse buttons do. Crucially, he's fast. He's got a percent TM removal plus days, which obviously won't matter if you're at turn 0, but for everything that you do at turn 0, you would also, well, technically, proper play on Raven's Claw might actually be this into basic into this at 225 speed. It's 225, whatever it is. 227. Please forgive me. Or you only have one reinforce? I don't know, man. Banners matter, right? Why are you bringing a second reinforcement for? Just get another master spline. Maybe it's not Bistan. Maybe it's just Cassian. Cassian gets 50% TM. Which I guess we're not really hitting that often, but it exists. Ship is slow as sin, but don't worry about it. We're getting 50% TM. We're still slower than fucking Raven's Claw. Guaranteed to be critical hits. I have to see this being a problem for a lot of lower class fleets. I'm inclined to agree. It might be capable of fucking up like would-be Empire ITB counters. Well, B-Wing's numbers kind of don't really matter, right? It all happens at 0 speed. Just like I talked about with Hondo, this is kind of functioning as an aggro deck. Although me calling Hondo an aggro deck was in context of if he was using his double Mass Assist turn 1, which he does not. But I would imagine that will be happening here. Given established AI behaviors. I mean, crucially, Home 1 ult is 100% TM, right? Oh, it's 100% TM in both respects. I thought it was a bonus on the second one. That's not even true. So that just basically does nothing for profundity. It's a question of Leviathan, which seems hard, or profund, or exact, which seems most viable. Is there any way we can stop Houndstooth from taunting? I'm not sure there is. There have been days when Houndstooth has bonus and acid is resistible. Which is also not possible because you just spent B-Wing. We'll see, man. This is definitely the most interesting ships has been in a while. I suspect that at the end of the day, you will post this on defense, and sometimes you will see an opponent who didn't hold a top 3 fleet for it. And you will see them get fucked, and you'll be like, haha. But I don't... It sounds very fun to play, but I don't know if... What's the angle here? Is the angle that if your opponent also cheeses, then this team might be more hyper performance? That'd be a situation very similar to Rogue One under Profundity, where you can go 2 ships starting plus 1 reinforce. You just go something like this. You have a super aggro opener. You just try to blow them up before they do much of anything to you, and then you have him 1 heal to try to top off max protection. Well, I mean, what about... That's not a ship. If we were talking efficiency... Yeah, I don't know, man. I actually might be inclined to hold this. I think you have to assume that your opponent will also hold Big 3. Which, granted, nobody really does that I'm aware of right now. Everyone seems to feel an obligation to post something. Yeah, I think it might be a hold plus limit test angle. It's a lot of player agency to hand 1 person. That I feel like there has to be something solvable there for some matchup to try to just fuck them up. Turn 0. We'll see. We'll have to see for sure. I mean, RNG is question 1, 2, 3, and 4 of like, you can easily envision, oh, well, it normally works, but the Bistanter meter went wrong, or the Bistanter meter went too right, or oh, it just didn't land any of our 85%able effects. Alright. I assume this is relatively known or old news at this point, but I just wanted to go back through it real quick. I'm not going to read this whole thing. But we can do a quick skim to see if I have missed anything. Our concerns about having to do relics on old characters while pursuing new. Relevant portion for Relic Delta is this: you've been progressing through gear tiers and lower levels without needing to use gear or relic materials. You will be progressing through gear tiers and lower relic levels without needing to use gear or relic materials, which frees those resources up to be spent on older characters. It says droid brains and high level signal data will be added as outputs. Wait, that does actually just sound like blue data is craftable. Is this a kit? No, this is a news post about Relic Delta that came out earlier. Okay, so arrows might not be that. Arrows and the raid still stay important. I've already been through all the reasoning. I just want to make sure that I understand the broad beats for Lockdown has been added to the game. It will use new signal data, which will not be farmed with energy. It said the new signal data will be available in both the Scavenger and other game modes. So maybe it is only the new stuff in Scavenger and it's not blues, but the way that they read earlier sounded like it could actually be blues. New game mode, new events, and an update to era-related journey guide events, ensuring that all players get to use new characters right away. An update to era-related journey guide. This I haven't looked at too much. Only one mention. Trying that all players get to use new characters right away for valuable rewards. We want all players to be able to enjoy the latest characters and content being released in the game. We hope this context helps our choice in Relic Delta make a bit more sense. On the impact of Relic Delta and PvP ones to make adjustments as needed. We are passionate about the game. Let's hear your feedback on this. Continue feedback on Relic Delta. Yeah. Myself and other creators have been banging it up pretty loud on this. Siege is well aware of the stakes. Pass along everything I've been seeing. It just seems solid. Back to 4-star unlocks on legendaries? Well, it sounds like the opposite. Well, I guess low stars can get relics again. I don't know why I said again. I guess low stars can get relics now. You'll be progressing through gear tiers and lower relic levels without needing to use gear or relic materials. Maybe it goes up, what is it, R4 is the cutoff? Journey Guide unlocks not having 4-month gaps and a lot more LSD being given out to players. Maybe? Well, you're just saying all Journey Guide goes permanent? They're making it sound like everyone gets the characters. Which I guess kind of points towards what Rickaron was saying. That sounds more like, hey, I have a 4-star mace and he has a 6-star mace type shit. But like I said about Relic Delta eliminating strategy, mods, counters, theorycrafting, but we aren't seeing a complete elimination strategy during either internal testing or current playtests. That is true. A number tuning is very critical right now, and I do think it's still too high. But that's been the unilateral feedback so far. We need to do another round of testing at the moment. But yeah, I do expect it will continue to go down. Also introduce some strategy around which characters to invest in and by how much. This is the one thing where I do actually kind of tend to land in CG's camp on is, for me, for the first like 5 or 6 however years until I reached endgame, my approach to the game was always, okay, who do I invest and who do I corner cut on? And that if Relic Delta lands in a healthy spot, I feel like that will still be the case. It's just that the threshold for who do I invest will land like 1 or 2 relic levels higher than what you are currently used to. Like your Maliko squad, if you got an R5 Malikos right now, you're maybe taking him to 6 or 7, depending on the use case. I don't think you have to R7 your entire Maliko squad. You might want to do some due diligence of like, make sure that your seer is on bulky shit. But the answer I don't think is going to be R7 your whole Maliko squad, dickhead. Your 11 Enoch into gas is going to be dead? Yeah, probably, but kind of depends on, I don't know. I would be more scared of Rex Nuke still, I think. You're put on a longer clock. Or I guess it's technically a faster clock. Right, you're still crit immune in that scenario. And that tends to be pretty catastrophic to a lot of gases damage. But if you can't actually carve through them, then all of a sudden you actually have to start expecting Rex Nuke. And at minimum, that means that you're risking Enoch getting sniped. The thing to keep in mind with a lot of this stuff is keep in mind that if you are willing to work on defense mods, you can more than offset whatever extra damage you've been taking with Relic Delta, unless we're talking stuff like true damage. Like, Ray Whirlwinds is kind of scary again. That is just true. That, you're going to want to be thinking about health and protection mods if you know that you're taking on Ray. That sort of thing. Or especially, like, yeah, if you're not offsetting with mods, you offset with Quran, right? You want to be able to offset it somewhere. If it's not coming from Relic. But yeah, if you are a involved or engaged player, there are ways to counteract it. Is blight damage impacted by Delta? No, blight is it just like flat? 10,000 per blight proc or something? Does this mean hold off on Relic increase until the update in a month? I would say it depends on how exposed you currently are. If you are a David who's used to fighting Goliath, yeah, hoarding right now just to see how impactful Delta is going to be to your day-to-day is probably a solid idea. As damage reduced, I'd be surprised if Blight isn't. Blight might be coded as self-damage. Is the only reason why I said it that way. Massive damage is very clearly from the attacker. Is this like a park? Ah, fuck it, whatever. Spotify going crazy today. But yeah, all in all, it's a really good post. I assume we've all been through it by now, but I don't want to rerun us back through it. But yeah. CG so far has acted in extremely good faith, working with us. And I return good faith with good faith. We will see where things go, but so far the experience has been quite solid. Probably should have led with this. I mean, maybe, but also, like, you gotta keep in mind, this, like, when has CG ever done something like this before? I feel like this is kind of a first. For them to part the kimono this much. Yeah, the first post is... It's hard to say. It was a rough first foot to step with. To be sure. We'll see, man. Obviously, Datacron's caused some friction and made some people quit, but overall... ended up more as a blip than, like, earth-shattering. And I guess my hope is for this to land roughly equal, that, like, it definitely seems clear that there are some people who are just, like, opposed to the idea of Relic Delta. And if we're in a scenario where Relic Delta has to ship, Like, there's only so much you could do to try to stymie the float. But my hope is, like, if Delta lands in healthy number ranges, like, in my mind, the way it will go is fights get spicier, but the outcomes are not. You're not just, like, door slam shut. You're still, like, if I'm trying to imagine what it would, well, not fucking imagine, but if I'm trying to imagine, like, okay, in a real life GAC scenario, what am I thinking? And the thing going through my head is, like, I think Delta, if it's in healthy number ranges, it should add texture, and it should add, like, another flavor or layer of, like, consideration. But it shouldn't determine outcome, right? If you are a David fighting a Goliath, and you're trying to size shit up, the delta of your characters, I feel like it should be a variable that you have to think about, and then you think about, like, okay, well, how am I, like, what am I shifting to deal with this if it's a problem for this specific scenario? Right? As long as the numbers are healthy and reasonable, that you have a action or reaction. Right, if we're talking like 4 delta, 5 delta, then maybe you're talking in like a min-maxer range, but it really just depends on how the number scaling is set. I really think that like 3 range will probably end up being the foot in the door, kind of. We'll see. Everyone is saying that the number should be lower right now, so it's just a question of where the next range of tests go. We shall see. But yeah, alright. I am getting out of here. Yeah, cool, good. I'm actually a little bit interested in playing B-Wing. I know Moshi let me test the Rogue One a little bit off stream just to confirm that the 2-star plus RI worked. We actually might do a test stream for B-Wing whenever I have it 7-star and just see kind of any limit testing we could do, because there's nothing we can't test here, right? It would all be the same as GAC, so we're not restricted by Omicrons for now until ship Omicrons get added with ships 3.0. Cool. I can't tell you the last time that I was like excited for a ship, so this is, hey, it sounds fun to play, right? It gives you tools to theorycraft with and think about. And that seems like a win. Cool. Anyway, peace out.